Hey guys, my name is Amanda Barely. I own a company called The Billion Dollar Body, and I just got interviewed by Miro. It was so much fun. So if you want to be a boss, make sure to tune into Boss to Boss. It's an amazing podcast, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Welcome to Boss to Boss. R&R Brandstand Recaps 64. Let's get it. How's it going, everybody? I'm back. I was on a little hiatus. Well, we did a job. We did a move, our longest move yet for Hodgepodge, out to Miami, specifically Bay Harbor Islands. A nice little, beautiful area. Beautiful area. They got a world famous mall out there. That was exciting. That was quite the move. It wasn't as big as our Denver move. It was 2 trucks, not 3, and three of us went instead of 4. Though mileage wise, it was definitely a lot further. It was 2 full days of driving, and then I got to stay out there. I have family out there, so I stayed a few extra days. Saw my cousins, my aunts and uncle, and that was nice. Nice, kind of just to. Nice to get away, though I didn't really get away because when you run a business, you're not ever away. And that's one thing that I have come to realize more and more with time is that you don't ever really get away. And that's the hard part about being an entrepreneur and being in these shoes, running the show. And yeah, it's kind of it's a sobering moment. It's a humbling moment because as much as you do, you don't ever really get full free time. And I want to, tell everybody that it's not always so easy. It's not always so easy. It looks nice. It's fun. It is fun. It's a blast. And there's nothing like being able to call it your own. But it's definitely moments that, you wish you could get some free time and tune out. But, that's when things could really hit the fan. Shit could really hit the fan like it did when I was out of town, and I didn't get to fully enjoy myself as much as I wanted to. And that's okay. It comes with the territory. It's just that I didn't know about it as much back in the day. I always that's what I'm here. I'm here to be real with you, and I want you to know and realize that what a lot of people put out there, a lot of the social media stuff, a lot of these beautiful pictures and everything and flying in planes and going meeting to meeting. It's not always so perfect because people don't always talk about the hard moments, the bad moments. And there are a lot of those moments. Specifically for me, I was there trying to get a couple days away and spend it with the family and just kind of tune out. And long story short, I ended up having to fire 2 people while I was gone. Some of my most important people. They were supposed to be key in the long run to help grow some of the teams, the labor teams, and just there were numerous things that have been going on behind the scenes, and things that just they all kind of added up. And I had to make a tough decision. And talk about making a tough decision while being on the road. And I can't say I was in a tougher place ever. I've had to let a few people go before, about two people that I had to let go in the past. But with those, it was sort of like mutual, and it was at a point where it just wasn't ever going to work out, and it wasn't going to happen. And it sort of made me realize that this is a high turnover industry. The labor industry, the blue collar industry, the moving, the storage, junk removal, even though we're, going green and trying to be more technology friendly and, trying to make a difference here, at the end of the day, this is still a blue collar industry. There is, the labor is the foundation. It's what keeps this thing going. And having that strong labor force is so important. And with that, it's just natural with the territory, especially when you're not a big enough company to be offering 401k plans and, crazy insurance plans like the big guys. There's going to be a high turnover ratio. There is going to be. You're going to be fighting for employees and for the right people. It's just natural, especially with just there being a crackdown overall on, I want to say, whether or not, it's immigration, or whether or not it's just people being more woke, I guess you could say. Not as many people want to do labor jobs. A lot of people just want to sit there and get paid 30, 40 bucks an hour in an office to type up a few things all day. And a lot of people feel entitled, I would say. And that's just the reality of it all. And, it's really humbling that you can't always find the right labor. And with that, with the high turnover, it's something to be expected. And here I am, a couple guys that I thought were going to be such a key long-term success to this company, I had to let go because things just occurred that can't be occurring, and I had to make a tough decision while I was out of town, so I couldn't even be there and like do it face to face, and I couldn't even be there to try to salvage the situation. Though it got to a point where there was no salvaging. Certain things were said and done that there was no coming back from, and I had to make these tough decisions. And it was my first ever moment in my life that I was actually, not gonna lie, kind of scared when I was doing it. I was scared. I had a little, anxiety, little miniature panic attack. I was kind of like shaking when I was calling. I was like, shit, because it comes to a point where some of these guys are full time, or these people, and you get such good relationships, you develop such good rapport, and that their family is depending on you, and whether their significant other, the kids, and there's you're supporting, you're helping support them, you're helping with their life, you're helping them pay the bills, you're helping them get by and grow a foundation for their family. And here, certain things happen, and I guess you kind of have to separate the two. You have to realize that here I am trying to grow a business, I'm trying to survive myself, and here these things didn't go right. These things did not go right, and these things put our business in jeopardy, put me in jeopardy, put my business partner in jeopardy, and I have to tune out that other noise, like I said in the previous podcast. Tuning out the noise. I have to tune out the noise of feeling bad for these people, and as much as I wanted to work out, at the end of the day, there were numerous strikes. If it was one, maybe two, we could work something out. We could talk it through. We tried talking it through already. There have been numerous meetings, and it got to a point where a decision had to be made. And, I can't be responsible for someone not doing their job fully. I can't be responsible about that. And, there's job descriptions for a reason. And if, depending on how bad you want it, if you want to keep that job, there's certain things you have to do. There's certain things at a minimum you have to do. And it was such a tough decision. I was so close with these guys. And, I almost feel like we took, 5 steps forward and just took 6 steps back. But in reality, we just took a step back. We will find people. We will. I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. There's many amazing people out there. And, we definitely pay good, and we're in a great environment to thrive. And that's for sure. So I'm not too concerned. It was definitely a reality check. And it was one of those moments that made being a business owner not easy. You think of all the beautiful things, the things that are going to come out of it, and you making an impact with Hodgepodge, trying to make an impact and saving the world, one junk removal job at a time, but not throwing it out into the dumpsters, maybe a little bit of it, because some things can't be saved, but, getting these goods into other people's hands. And you think of all these amazing things, and that's what gets you through it, because there is going to be a lot of ugly. And that ugly is, having to fire someone, having to cut someone's hours, or having to deal with a huge break or something, for a customer. It's inevitable. Accidents happen. There's like I forgot what the number is exactly, but it's somewhere between like 5 to 7%. There's a breakage like that in moving. There is. So it's inevitable. No matter how amazing you are and how careful you are, things will get broken. Things will happen. That's why you have insurance. You have policies in place. You have things in place. You have a customer claim loss program in place for if anything happens. And with the good and the ugly, you just kind of have to stay humble and go on and take these moments as learning moments. And for me, For me, it was tough. It actually took me a few days to get out of it. Here I am talking about it about, what is this, like 4 days later after I had to let these two employees go. And it took me these 4 days to truly kind of get over it. I had to talk about it to numerous people. It was tough situations. There was things said back and forth. There was a lot of buildup to it. There's still like repercussions being figured out right now. And it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy. So if someone knows a good way to, help cope with it, let me know. And what's worked for me thus far has just been talking it out, talking it through. I definitely stand by my decision. I had all the facts. Having all the facts laid out as to why you had to make this decision is good. And then being able to get those facts reconfirmed by somebody else, by an outside party, that's also nice as well. And that's the way I operate. And going forward, I think that it's going to be much easier, as this was definitely a tough situation and something I didn't ever have to fully deal with. Like I said, I dealt with some firings earlier, but they were a little more mutual. I wasn't as invested. Here I was fully invested. These were full-time guys, and I had to make a decision on two of them because it was either all or nothing. It was one of those scenarios. And yeah, it really made me rethink a lot of things. It made me kind of rethink where I'm at and if I'm doing the right thing. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, I had some thoughts coming in and out of me like, wow, like, do I want to be in this position? Do I want to be doing this? Do I want to bring in somebody else to be doing these sort of decisions? But you know what? That's how I know I'm growing. That's how I know I'm growing. When I feel so uncomfortable, when I feel a little anxiety kicking in, stress kicking in, later, I know it's worth it, because at the end of the day, I know I did what was right. I made the tough decision, and I stood by it, and I stood with the people that are there to support me, because I know that was the right decision to make to keep growing the business and to keep growing Hodgepodge. If you're in that position, talk to me. Let me know. I'm curious to hear how you handled it. And if you have to make that decision, if you're at a big firm, or whether it's your business and you have to fire someone, I would, what worked for me is just lay out all the facts. I'm going to go through it one more time. Lay out all the facts. Take these facts to someone else, maybe a business partner, maybe someone outside that you use as a mentor, someone you trust, and lay out the facts. See if you have yourself covered. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. There's a lot of lawsuits. There's, potential things that could come out of it. You want to make sure that you fully have yourself covered as to why you're letting these individuals go. And having these facts and things in place, written down, or talk to, have records of it all, it makes the process a lot better and a lot easier, as you know that you're being backed up by the law and backed up by other individuals, and you have witnesses, for example. And yeah, it's tough, and it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory, and I hope this helps you think about entrepreneurism and being in this role as a CEO, and whether or not you have to make this decision at your firm or at the firm you're working for, whatever it is, it's not an easy decision, and it's not something you ever want to be a part of. And it gives me so much respect for my superiors back in prior firms when we had to lay off people. It gives me so much respect because I can see how tough it is, and especially in like maybe a white collar environment. At first, I would think it'd be easier, but now that I think about it, that white collar, usually there's higher pay, more benefits usually, and I could even see that being even tougher. And having to do that with individuals you probably work more closely with, it's not easy, and it's life and it's reality, and that's kind of how the world works. And it made me think about the whole like depressions and recessions, and when they had to let go thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and made me think of that movie Up in the Air, I think it was, where George Clooney, I believe that's what it was called, and he would kind of go from big company to big company, and he would do the firings for the people. And it's crazy. I never really pictured myself in those shoes and having to deal with that, and here I am doing what he was doing in that movie, and dealing with it. And you really gotta learn to control yourself and control your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions in these situations. As usually, like me, I'm very personable. I love people. I'm very I show sympathy, empathy when I can. I mean, at all times. I've been through a lot of things, and I will work things out with you, every time before we have to proceed further. But so obviously, if this happened, there were certain reasons behind it, and it's tough, I just want you all to know that it's not that easy being in these shoes and walking these footsteps. It's not easy. But I don't want to discourage you either, as these are great learning moments and growth moments. And in order to get to the next level, which I know we will now, I know we're going to get to the next level. And sometimes, these decisions have to be made. If you look back at every single company that ever started and you talk to the individuals there, I'm sure, these moments happen numerous times, and they happen and they will continue to happen. It's just a matter of whether there's a fit or not, and whether you're all on the same page. And at the end of the day, you have to be aligned if you really want to make something great and grow. And I hope all you listening, get something out of this, and realize that there's good that could come out of it. Hopefully now these individuals will find something that they want to do more, something they're more passionate about. Maybe they could pursue something else they really wanted to do, and I know they will, because they're great individuals, and I know they'll find the right thing they want to do, and they could learn from the things that were done here and do those things differently. And same here. I know how to handle these situations better going forward, or maybe I could have salvaged the situation if I got into it earlier and cracked down and made the necessary changes, and maybe rekindled the relationships here amongst people. And it's just an all out, full out learning experience. That's all it is, and that's how it is here with entrepreneurism and just running a business, or being inside of a business and being in a managerial role. I honestly hope you are crushing the rest of your week. I know you will be. It's Rants and Recaps R&R 64. I can't believe we already have so many episodes. I mean, we do an interview once a week, so that would say 32 interviews already on the new Boss to Boss platform, and so many more good ones coming up. I'm so excited. There's so many things happening. I don't want to leak anything yet, but there might be some more content coming your way in the next few months. I know I've always talked about like possibly a book or course or something like that, or ebook. Well, stay tuned. There's definitely going to be something coming, something I'm going to be in the works with over these next few months, and I will keep you all posted. I'm super pumped, and I hope to hear from you. Crush the rest of your week. We'll be talking again soon. Peace.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.